Is the Vegas flu a real thing or what?
Oh, first year, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, like they're coming in, and I think
Fuck, you had it half the nights.
What was that?
Hey? I said you had it half the nights.
Yeah, but no, he had a vaccine for it.
Yeah. I think that was the year that they started making IVs illegal for NHL players.
Oh, jeez.
But no, I mean, like we either had like guys were coming in and they were playing Arizona the night before and then coming to play us, which was huge, and then or the guys were going out. I mean, it's Vegas. What do you expect? Especially the first trip. I remember talking to Callahan out of Rochester. I was skating with him one day, and he's like, yeah, Coop's already got a 4 or 5 day trip planned for us. Like, we're like staying for like 3 extra days and stuff. And I'm like, what is going on? Like,
everyone was just using it as like, all right, you know what? Everyone knows what's going to go on, so let's just be open about it. Everyone, we're getting after it. Although there was one team, I don't remember who it was. I think they went in. No, there was a team that went in day a game. No chance. Washington did that.
Anaheim
did it.
But there was also a team that stayed off the strip. Can anyone guess the GM that made the team stay off?
Lou Lamoriello.
Guys aren't going to be in a beautiful black town car 10 miles away or wherever they're staying. Like,
no,
what a
I
joke.
know, but like, I mean, you want your team to perform the best as possible, but we were also getting taken for granted too. We were like, oh, expansion drafts. All these guys won a couple lucky games. And then it got towards the end of the season, like halfway through the season, and teams were like, okay, these guys are actually a legitimate team.
So I had a quote that before the finals, it might have been all of the playoffs. They had like all these different quotes of people saying shitting on the Golden Knights before the season started. And I was one of the clowns on NHL Network. I'm like, they're going to be the doormat for the league, and they would play it. They would pump it in to get the crowd fired up. Now, granted, here's the thing: I didn't know William Karlsson was that good. He gets 43. Shea Theodore's just this filthy, nasty defenseman. Like Nate Schmidt was. There was all these players that you kind of understand how good the NHL is. I'm kind of long-winded here because I do have a question, but you understand how good the NHL is because there's guys in every organization, if they get a different role, if they get a different chance, like they could explode. But the thing I was kind of long-winded in is that you got sent down out of camp, right? Were they like, hey, you're going to be right back up? Or was it more, you're kind of rattled and a little worried that it could be longer than just 4 games?
No, so Shea Theodore went in right before me, and they brought him in, and then they said the same exact thing to me, and they go, well, we got some good news and bad news. Good news is you made the team. Bad news is you're going down to Chicago. So I was sitting here like, oh, okay, like, and he's like, well, we don't know for how long. There's still a bunch because we were over in contracts. We had so many one-way guys. They're trying to.
You had like 9D to start, I think.
Crazy and stuff. They're like, yeah, we we saw you as like a top 6 or at least top 9 forward. Like you played to the top 6 and stuff like that. We thought you played really well, but you're on a 2-way and we won't lose you if you send you down. So we'll see you when we see you. And I went down I think I played 3 games in Chicago, and I missed 4 games with Vegas. And then I was back up and didn't go down after.
So I guess I got to ask you, to start that season, of course, the Vegas shooting happens. I would assume at that point you'd already been sent down, but I mean, just the way that the whole city kind of, got together, especially after that, and really rallied around the team. And I think that you guys were kind of like their uplifting spirit in that moment.
Remember that first game, it was against
the Coyotes, and I was there, and it was, it was very emotional, but I think that really had kind of spearheaded it. What was the feeling in the room after that? And what do the guys make of the whole situation?
Well, I was actually there during the shooting. So they were still during training camp. This was, I think, 2 days before I got sent down. Because I got sent down the day before the first game, because that was the cutoff day. So I got sent down like the 3rd or something like that. The shooting happened on the 1st, and we had an exhibition game at 4 o'clock that day, like a random game. And we walk out, and it was like Lucas Spiza, Cody Eakin, and I can't remember who else was there, but we're like, oh, we got bands to go to the concert. Like, what do you guys think? And a few of us were like, Like, that sounds good. Like, we were 50-50, like, oh, should we go to the concert? And we're like, no, let's just go to dinner. So we ended up going to dinner. So we were so close to going to the concert. That was the scariest part. And then we're sitting at dinner, and one of the guys brings up Twitter and was like, holy crap, there's a shooting in Vegas. And we're like, oh, yeah, probably just one guy got shot. He's like, there's like 52 people injured right now, or like dead. And like, people were on Twitter were like, there's 80 dead, 100 dead. And we're sitting here like, oh my God, like, what is going on? And then chaos was like, people started like kind of leaving dinner as soon as they could, but it was like chaotic. People were coming back in like, I can't even leave the hotel. They shut down the hotels. They shut down the strip. We were there at the hotel, which like originally we were gonna, like, they told us like, hey, like, you guys like gotta go wait in the lobby, and then we couldn't even get off the floor. So they're like, just come back in and hang out. Like, what else can you do?
Yeah.
You're shocked. That was so shocking, and like, I'm sitting across the country. That was just, I'll never forget that. And then the way the city came around, like what you guys did, it was just, I can't imagine you get up there, and the year before you're up and down, and now like you've cemented yourself when like halfway through the season, like, dude, I'm top 6 on this team. It must have been such a good feeling, one, playing in a city that's so fun. These home games are legit parties every night, and you're just in Vegas. It must have been the best year ever.
Yeah, 21-year-old kid. I was single. I was enjoying life. I had friends always coming in, visiting, family. Everyone loved coming in to visit and stuff, and it was probably one of the best years of my life, honestly. Made the NHL. I got the housing letter like 2 months in, and it was, I don't know, it was like the best moment ever. Shea Theodore and I got the housing letter same day. We got the email. We decided to go rent a house. We were all out to the west side of Vegas in Summerlin near the practice facility, but that's a 15-minute Uber. You can hop in an Uber, be there in 15 minutes. I had some fun nights. Let's just say that.
During the playoff run, were guys ever looking at each other kind of almost in disbelief, like we're going this far? Or was it just kind of like a quiet confidence through the group during that whole time?
I think it was a little bit of both. I think we knew we had a good team, but we just went in there and we were like, hey, you know what? We have no one has any expectations. We were underdogs until we were in the finals against Washington, which I was surprised we weren't underdogs because they had a hell of a team. I mean, Ovechkin, I don't even know. He's been trying at this for I don't know how many years. So they had a hell of a team too. And we were underdogs against LA, swept LA. And we were like, oh my God, like, what did we just do? And then we went into San Jose, underdogs again. Should have beat them in 5, ended up beating them in 6 or something like that. And then we go against Winnipeg, and we're like, okay, this team's good. I mean, they were huge on the back end. Bufflin, Myers, Trouba. And then they had Scheifele, Wheeler, Kyle Connor was coming into his own, and they were an unbelievable team. And we beat them in 5. I thought we were dominated game 1. They beat us 6-4. We ended up having some lucky goals. And then we won 4 straight, and we were sitting here like, what the hell just happened? And then we go to the finals, and I think our biggest mistake was winning game 1 and then sitting here and being like, oh my God, we're 3 games away from winning.
Yeah.
So looking back, if we were thinking about it, I wish we would have been like, you know what, that game doesn't matter. It's 0-0 in the series and play it again, but it didn't.
As for that line, don't forget where you're playing. Vegas didn't want to take too much of a bath on you guys. But one thing I want to bring up, and I hate to do it, but the Holtby save, I mean, it's part of Stanley Cup lore. You almost tied game 2. Was that the most shocked you've ever been on the ice in your career?
Yeah. I almost got knocked out by Wilson or something right afterwards, too. And I was just I just, like, stood there and I, like, just looked in disbelief. I had no idea. And in the line after the series was over, Hopi looks at me and goes, that was the luckiest save of my career.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Wow. That makes me feel better.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit, Holps.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's just say I got some hate mail on Twitter. I still see it. It still gets tweeted at me and stuff like that. But, I mean, it sucks. But would that have changed the entire series? Maybe. No one will ever know. So I kind of have to.
However, you have to sleep at night, Tucker.
I actually just rewatched it. Orpik almost, another BC guy, almost crushed you after. It was like 8 seconds after the save.
Yeah, that was a late one, but he wasn't. I think in Game 5, I went. Because I don't know Orpik too well, and we were both BC guys. I think I met him once before, but
he's the man.
I think Riley Smith had scored in Game 5, and he was just, it was assault on William Karlsson behind the net, like on top of him. And Karlsson's our best player, and I think it was on the power play. And you just see me, I throw my stick aside, and like Riley Smith celebrating in the corner, and I go full Superman and tackle Orpik off of him. We're wrestling around, we're standing up, and then I got John Carlson coming in here, and I got Marshy trying to jump on John Carlson's back. So I got one arm on John Carlson, I got another arm on Brooks Orpik, and I got Riley Smith and Jonathan Marshall and Will Carlson, who are not guys that you want in the scrum behind you, and I'm trying to hold on to these guys. But
come on, boys.
Yeah, seriously, I'll take you guys. Leave those guys alone. Hit me.